Yo, what's up, everybody? What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of KJ the Investor. It's yours truly, KJ. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the portfolio. Right now, we're looking at an investing account, guys. We're sitting at $59,080.55. At the close of business at 4 o'clock today, the market says that we are down $124. The market is still fluctuating right now, even 45 minutes later. It's 4:45 right now. I'm back up. I'm back to 107.93. So $107.93. So without further ado, man, the market is just all over the place right now. Now, if you look at the live, just click on the 1 day tab. I'm gonna kind of clear up some things for y'all because a lot of y'all are kind of worried that the market is crashing and has already crashed. If you looked at the market for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 days, the market has been in the red, and I'm gonna tell you why. Go ahead and clarify that for you today. We clicked on the 1 day tab. If you go right here midway, look at this. Between the start of the day, about 9 o'clock, 8:55, 9 o'clock right now, look at my portfolio was up $428. Then as the day progressed, 10:25 came around, we had dropped down a good little bit, down to $376. Keep going, 12 o'clock lunchtime, we were down to $288. So we kept going. The market got back up. Very choppy. At 2 o'clock, the market was high. It is highest point of the day. $597 surplus. Without that was my portfolio made almost $600 without lifting a finger, without doing anything to make any kind of money, but it made it on its own. Then Federal Reserve met today at 2:30. They made an announcement where they actually cut interest rates by 25 basis points. But then what messed up everything was when the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, and anybody else who has anything to do with the decision making with the Federal Reserve, they cut the interest rate 25 basis points. That is true. That is supposed to help stimulate the economy. But where the problem comes in at, and what you guys need to know about, I get a lot of people writing me a lot of stuff. Hey, KJ, we want you to make a video about the market today. We want to see the good and the bad. Talk to us. Okay, cool. I'm here to talk to you. So, by the way, I was already planning on making this video, but I'm glad I got people reaching out to me as well, interested in knowing my thoughts and ideas on what we should do. And in this video, I'm going to break it all down. So anyway, as they met at 2:30 and they began to explain what was going on with the interest rates in America, they feel like the economy is booming. They feel like the economy is back in good standings. So what the problem was, why everything dropped off and turned into dip season, is because the Federal Reserve and anybody else that's in charge of the announcement of the Federal Reserve said that they don't feel like there is enough tension in the market or inflation or whatever to keep cutting interest rates. So maybe they will, maybe they won't, coming to 2025, cut interest rates. But guys, we were anticipating and we were in high expectation of more interest rates being cut in 2025. Now they have agreed to keep interest rates higher for longer because nobody said anything about we are definitely cutting interest rates in 2025. So since there was not a clear-cut direction from the Federal Reserve today about the interest rates, that is why we have such a big major sell-off. Click back on live. Boom. Hold on. There it is. That's why we had dip season. That's why we're back in the red. That's why people are selling off stocks and shares of ETFs and shares of cryptocurrencies. This is why right here, because the Federal Reserve does not have, and they did not paint a clear picture. They do not have a clear plan, a clear path to revenue. They don't have one to cut interest rates in the near future. So that's why that news, that foresight, every time a company reports earnings, they either beat expectations or they don't. Depending on what they do, depending on how the market's going to react. Also, depending on the forward guidance. Those words right there, those are two powerful words in this. Those are the two most powerful words in this entire conversation. Forward guidance. The forward guidance have to be in line with what the market is already predicting for it to happen. And the forward guidance today with the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell and all of that to cut interest rates is not in line with what the market wants it to do. The Federal Reserve is supposed to say, hey, guys, yeah, we cut the interest rate today by 25 basis points, and heading into January 2025, we're looking to cut another 25 basis points in 2025. We're going to kick the year off right with some more rate cuts. That is what would have turned the stock market from dip season to all-time highs. We would have seen all-time highs again. We would have seen people buying companies left and right. Why is that? Because the Federal Reserve, when the interest rates come down, assets go higher. Why is that? Because it's going to be cheaper for banks to borrow money from banks. And that's the Federal Reserve rate. Then when they make it cheaper for banks to borrow from banks, that means it's going to be cheaper for people to borrow from banks and companies to borrow from banks. So when it's cheaper for people and companies to borrow from the banks, we can borrow more money for lower prices. Longer times. And when we borrow more money at a lower price, we can now invest that money into businesses, growth in real estate, growth in stocks, growth in the economy. That's what causes the stimulus. So that's what's going on, guys. And that's what. Oh, look at that! Wow, the market just took a big leap of green. Went up just now. I don't know. It went up a slight bit in the positive direction. But anyway, that's what happened. Data controls the markets. Data from people, places, and things. I done told you guys that news helps control the markets. And so this is only a temporary thing. I know a lot of y'all feel like all the gains that we made from when President-elect Donald Trump won the candidacy. I know you guys feel like all of that momentum has been erased, but it hasn't. Don't sell out of it.